Hello everybody and welcome back to another video of Our Games and Tech. My name is Gilbert Matos and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make circular moving platforms for Gamemaker Studio 2. Before we move on, you need to take into consideration that this video is based on my all-in-one platform video. So before you start this, go ahead and check out the first part of it, which is basically how to make a jump-through platform. After you're done with that portion, you can come back and follow along. So before anything else, let me just show you the demo. Okay, so that was a demo. I hope you liked it. And if this is what you're after, then let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and create a new object. This is going to be the circular object, right? I'm going to go ahead and name it as such, circular. Boom. And we're going to go ahead and create a sprite, right? For you would have to go ahead and create a sprite, but since I have done that, right? All you have to do is just go ahead and choose that. So in this case, I have a SPR circular. I'm going to add it to it, right? And we're going to go into that, right? So we can go into edit sprite and edit image. We're going to go into edit sprite. So this is what I have here. So the origin is in the middle, is middle center. The mask of the object, it's covering the entirety of the object. It's fine. And it's 128 by 64 pixels. So we close that and we go back into the object, right? And we're going to go into parent and we're going to parent to our jump through platform. Okay. We're going to do just that. And we're going to close the object. And that's it for that. Now we're going to open the parent, which is jump through platform. And we're going to open its two events, the create event and the end step event. And we're going to go ahead and open it in full screen so you guys can actually see it much better. We're going to go into the create event and we're going to add the following variables. We're going to add platform angle, which is it's going to be randomized, right? So it's going to be random. We're going to do 360, right? So this is going to start the platform in a random angle within 0 and 360, and it's going to give us an integer number, which is good. It's great. After that, we're going to do x pivot, pivot x, right? It's going to be x. We're going to do pivot y. Then we're going to do what are we going to use? We're going to be using something else, and that's going to be the radius, right? That's going to be the radius of the platform, radius. And then we're going to call it 120. So 120 is going to be how wide the radius is going to be, right? So if this is the pivot, right, where this is going to be circulating from, right, orbiting, right? The bigger the radius, right, the longer it's going to take the platform to travel, right? So the speed, the radius is going to determine how fast it goes from like one to the other place, from one point to another. And also the speed of the platform, right? So we're not going to add the speed right here. We're going to do it in the end step event. So this should be pretty much it for this. So we have pivot x and pivot y. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into the end step event of said object. And that is going to have a switch statement, right? So we're going to add a new case for that. So we're going to say case. Then we're going to use the name of the object, circular, which auto-completes, column, and we're going to do break. Don't forget the break, because this might break things. But not intended, but enjoyed. Okay, so we're going to add the orbiting logic to our platform. So we're going to say if, let me see, platform angle mod 360 equals 0, right? Then we're gonna just go ahead. We can copy this and paste it twice here. We're gonna say equals here, boom, and we're gonna add a minus here. So this is what's gonna keep the platform from overshooting. So if you get to 360, right? Just keep on moving along, right? So this is gonna change the value of the value of the platform angle to a -1. So it's just basically gonna keep on going like this infinitely. And all we have to do after that is just add to the angle, right? And before we do that, we need to make sure that we have a platform speed. So for that, we're going to go ahead and say var, which is going to be a temporary variable that we can use right here. We're going to say platform speed. And we can say, I don't know, 4. We can make it 6, whatever you want. We're just going for 4. That works nicely. And we're going to go ahead and say, hey, just add to our platform angle plus equals, and then we're going to say platform speed times plat dir, right? So that's a platform direction, which we initialized if you follow along with the tutorial I mentioned first. So this is going to go clockwise or counterclockwise based on the platform angle, okay? Cool. So now that we have that calculated, let's just make sure we put that inside of a region, right? Region. Make sure the platform. Whoa. Brain is hands are doing something and brain is doing something else. Okay, make sure the platform stays orbits in a circle. Orbits. That's it. Because if we say orbit, then we don't have to say circle. And region. And that is pretty much it for that portion. Now we're going to have another region. And in this region, we're going to calculate, we're going to store the speed, the platform speeds. So we're going to have underscore h speed, and we're going to have underscore d speed. And for the next thing, right, where you're going to hold Alt, and you're going to go ahead and click and drag down. And now we can write in both columns, in both rows, right, at the same time. So we can say, well, we're going to be using the pivots, right? Remember that? Underscore pivot. We can say X. Of course, the Y one is going to be changed later on, but we're going to do what's similar. And we're going to say length dir X. Hold on. Okay, we missed something. Length dir X. And we're going to do something like this. Now we're going to change this right away because we don't want to forget. Pivot X, pivot Y, and we're going to do length Y. And right here, we're going to do the same thing as we did before. And we're going to go ahead and say, okay, we need the radius, right? Boom. And what else do we need? Oh, well, we need the platform angle, right? So it's going to be flat angle. Is that how we have it? Flat angle? Yes, sir. And that's going to be pretty much it for this. Except that we're missing the minus X, right? We're going to do minus Y. Without this, this is going to go nuts. It's not going to work properly. Okay, so we have this. All of this is calculated already, and we can apply it already. So we can go ahead and say X plus equals underscore H speed and Y plus equal underscore V speed. And we can go ahead into the room and drop a couple of them, right? 1 and 2 and 3 if you wish, right? Save it and run the game, and let's see what happens. Beautiful. So as you can see, things are working just fine. Our platforms are moving in a circular fashion, but we still cannot interact with them. We kind of can, but it's like it's not working properly. So let's just go ahead and fix that because we want to make sure that things work as intended. Look at that. Doesn't that look beautiful? It looks very smooth. So we're going to go ahead and fix that. Cool. So now that we have that, then we have to work on the player interaction with it, right? So this is going to be save the platform movement speed, right? And then we have this one. And then we have the player movement. Handle player movement. Or handle player interaction with the platform. Boom. Now we go ahead and region. So you have to make sure that all of this is done in this fashion, right? In this order for this to work. because you need to move the player along with the platform before the platform itself moves. Otherwise, you're gonna get really weird behaviors. So we go ahead, press enter a couple times, and we say, okay, we need to check if we have to run this code from inside the player. And I use my very favorite constructor, which is the with statement, right? The with constructor. So and then we say with player, right? And then right here we can run the code from inside the player. So let's imagine we're inside the player right now, and we're gonna say, hey, if place meeting x and y plus the absolute value of the other object we're running this code from, right? The other that underscore vSpeed, right? Other and now place meeting xy other, right? Then we're gonna run our code. So let me just step you right through this. ABS basically takes a value, right? Regardless of what it is. Let's say that you have like -50. It takes -50 and turns it into 50, right? It just returns a positive value. That's the absolute value. An absolute value is always going to be positive. So if you have 5, you'll get 5 regardless. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because the underscore vSpeed of our platform can be negative. And if it is negative and you're doing if you're doing an addition plus a negative number, then you're going to get a subtraction. So this is not going to work consistently. And it's only going to work when the platform's vertical speed is positive. And we don't want that. We want this to be consistent. So this is the reason why we're doing this. So we're doing that, and we're also making sure that we're not inside the platform itself, because we only want to be the right amount of pixels above it. Okay, so that's the thing we want. And here we're just gonna say, hey, now that we're doing that, let's make sure we move along with the platform. So we're gonna do y plus equals, and we're gonna say other that underscore vSpeed, and we're gonna run the game, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. So we're gonna see if we can actually stick to it. Oh, kind of nice, but not working properly. What might be happening? Let me try another one. Oh, we kind of get there, but then we fall again, and we can only stay on it when it is going down, right? And that's not what we want. And it looks like we're also sliding to the sides. Not very good. Not very good. So let's fix that, and I'll explain why that is happening. Okay, so the reason why that is happening is because up here, this calculation has what we call subpixel movement. So it's not whole numbers. So you might have like 4.3 or like 3.5 or something like that, right? And that's not what we want. And that is exactly what's causing that. And that is for the vertical movement, right? So if we're gonna go ahead and try to fix that, we're gonna have to seal that, right? And what seal basically does, if we're going to our beautiful manual, which I really love about Gamemaker Studio 2, it gives you this explanation. It says this function takes any real number and rounds it up to the nearest integer. That basically means, okay, you get like 3.5, you're gonna get 4, right? And 3.6, you're gonna get 4, and so on. Now, with that said, we're always gonna get a whole number, and that's all we did to this. Let's check it out. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna run the game again. We just gotta wait a little bit. Boom, we got this. Okay, it's kind of working. Kind of, right? Well, it's fully working, vertically speaking, but we have a problem. Have a bigger problem, actually. We're sliding. Look at that. We're sliding left and right nonstop. And that is not good. Now, why is that happening? Well, we're still not adding the horizontal speed of the platform to the player. So I know a lot of you might be tempted to go ahead and say, "Ha, Gil, this is pretty easy. All I have to do is just go ahead and just add x plus equals other that underscore h speed and run the game again, and then boom. It's not rocket science. It's easy. It's common sense, right? And then you run the game, and then this happens. Oh, we get this, and that's not what I want, right? It's not very fun. So it is kind of working as intended, but not efficiently, not entirely, and that's what we're going to try to fix now. It looked like it was working perfectly fine there because it didn't move. But again, it's going to keep on moving left, moving right. And now you might be wondering, well, Gil, that's happening because, dude, you didn't add seal to the other portion, right? And that is actually not true. And I'll explain that, and I'll show you that, and I'll show you that now. But before I do so, let me show you another problem. Let me see if we can see it. Do you see that? So because we have not put any checks to make sure we avoid facing through walls, the platform is just going to move the player regardless of what's going to happen, of what's happening, right? And we're going right through the wall. And if we try to jump, we can actually get stuck on the wall, which is not very good at all. You don't want your games to be like that, right? But in this example, it's going to be a lot harder to actually do that. But again, you can see that the player at some point is actually facing right through the wall. It's got to move a little bit right there. You saw that. So if you didn't see that, just go ahead and just go back on the video. You can see it right there. So we have it consistently happening. So we're going to close this. And now, let me tell you something. We can stop this, right? We're going to Control X this portion here because we're going to use it later. So we can stop the just going right through walls by just doing a small check. So we only want to move the player when there's no wall collisions. And that's how we're going to do this. We're going to do if not place meeting, X, Y plus O to that, V speed, and then O solid. Beautiful. And then we're going to run the code right here. We're going to tap this forward and then have it like so. Now you might be wondering, Gil, hold on. You didn't add the ABS. And I'm like, that's correct. So here's the thing. You don't want to do two checks. You don't want to do, oh yeah, let me check if it's going down. Let me check if it's going up. No. We're going to use this little shortcut right here. So what I explained right here is actually going to be useful for us here. So you're going to have plus. So if it is negative, we're going to be checking up because the platform is going up. If it is positive, that means it's going down, right? Common sense. Pretty awesome. And we can go ahead and run the game. And what's going to happen? Oh, I completely forgot. But let me show you. Regardless, we might not be able to see it because we're gonna fix a couple of things. So one of the things we need to fix is we need to change the position of the walls. And instead of changing the position of the walls, instead of just changing the position of the platforms, we can just add a little wall right here, right? And we can make things a lot better, heck of a lot better. So remember what I told you? So this is preventing the player to from being pushed right through the walls. It's awesome. Now for that's gonna be awesome. So we can add like X plus we can add what we actually got rid of right here, and we can call this, right? We put it inside of a region, vertical movement. Or we can call this vertical player carry. Player carry. There you go. We can call it that. Boom. And we're gonna say end and it's autocomplete, and then we're gonna hide that. Awesome. I'm gonna run the game again, and let's see what happens. Okay, now we have this here, and we can just go ahead and latch onto the platform. And as you can see, every time we go into that, we don't get pushed through the wall. So the player just faces right through the platform, which is, it might be your intended need, right? Might be what you need, right? So we can just go ahead, boom, that happens. But again, we still have the same problem of the player just going left and right and stuff. Pretty neat. So the player doesn't get pushed up, through the walls. whether the platform is going up or down. He gets carried. Oh, that happened right there. And the reason why that happened is because we haven't done the same thing when going to left and right, which we're going to fix now. Because now we have the problem of the player not sticking with the platform when going left and right. It's gonna stick, but it's gonna keep on left and right, and that's changing based on the direction of the platform and its speed, right? So we're gonna close this and we're gonna run the game again later after we've added that. So we're gonna say, okay, we need to get rid of this little guy right here. Where's the little line of code? We're gonna Control X that to just save it, right? And then we're gonna do the following. We're gonna paste it here. I'm gonna open this again because I don't know why I closed it. And we're gonna drag all of this, click and drag all this, and Control C to copy it. We're gonna paste it right here. We're gonna change a couple things here. We're gonna tap this to the right, and we're gonna add another curly brace and another curly brace, and that should be it for this. Now, the thing that we're gonna change is right here is gonna be very simple. We're gonna make this 1, and I'll explain why. So we're gonna make it 1, cool. And this, we're gonna change this. This here is gonna be plus other that h speed, right? And then we're gonna do comma y. And we have this right here. So let's step right through this. Since we have this portion down here, right? This is what's making sure that we stay in the platform. So we don't need to do the same here. We just need to check for 1 pixel below it, right? And this check sadly needs to be done apart because we stop here and we get pushed up and down, but then we have to make sure that we're like at least a pixel, only a pixel under the platform, right? A pixel or 2 probably, just a pixel for now. You can play around with that if you want, but this is what's worked for me. And yeah, so this is what's happening. We have a check here for if it is 1 pixel. The platform is a pixel below, and then we have the obvious. Make sure that we're not, colliding with the platform, that we're not inside it. Make sure the platform is 1 pixel below us, but that we're not inside it at all. And then make sure that there's no walls to whatever direction the platform is moving us. And if that's the case, then move us along with the platform. So we're gonna add another region right here. We're gonna say move the player, vertical player carry. That's what we call it. So we're gonna call horizontal, boom, player carry, and there you go. Then we're gonna call end region right here. Beautiful. Gonna give a little space right here, boom, and we're gonna hide that. Now that's pretty awesome. It looks fairly neat. We can run the game now and see what happens. So things are working just fine so far. Now let's just close this and let's go ahead into the room and fix this because it's a little mess. So let's just move this guy like around here, somewhere around here. Should be fine. Let's make this a little smaller because we don't want everything to just collide with it. And let's run the game again and let's see what happens. So this should be our fix and things should work properly from now on. Beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. There, it keeps it moving. Awesome. Pretty awesome. I like that. So we can just jump, as usual, and land until whatever. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind, because I'm not doing that purposely, is that there's this little problem with with staying with just like a pixel right in the edge, on the edge. Like if you stay right on the edge, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get bounced back up, which is weird. I don't know why that happens. So if you can figure it out, please let me know. But again, we can test this once again, and we don't get pushed. You see that? We don't face through the platform anymore. I mean, through the walls anymore, which is actually fairly awesome. Pretty awesome, right? And it's also jump through. It's pretty good. See that? It's pretty good. I love it. We can run the game again, so this can actually go, both ways. Look at that. Beautiful. It's just working marvelously well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, one thing I would like to discuss is the other portion, which is up here in the moving on platform. We have to make sure that we seal this part because we haven't done that yet. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was making platforms just move smoothly in one direction. So you can just comment this out. And if you comment it out, look at what you get and look at what happens. It works smooth, fairly well. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that. See that? Isn't that beautiful? That's amazing. So you also get this. So this is like a little bonus for you guys. I hope you like it. You can do the same thing with the other portion. You can go ahead and just, comment this out. And now you have vertically moving platforms that move very smoothly too. They don't check for collision with other platforms, but you can do that if you want. Pretty awesome. Look at that. Drop him here, pick him up. Beautiful. And look at how smoothly it actually works. So again, here, 1 pixel, almost like pixel perfect. Truly love it. Look at that. Beautiful. And we don't fall. We don't fall through it. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching this video. The project file is going to be available in my Patreon. And for those of you who don't want to go into Patreon, right, this is available also in my Gumroad, which is going to be for like $1. So if you like to get the project file with everything in it, you can just go into my Gumroad and just for $1 you're going to be able to get the project file. And the same thing for Patreon. So if you want to be a Patreon and support my work, you just go ahead and become a $1 Patreon, and you get the project file as well. You also get updates about what I'm working on, and you get to see things first than everybody else. And yeah, if you like my work, please let me know. Leave a comment below. I hope you like this, and yeah, subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and share it. Please share it on Twitter, Facebook, anywhere with anybody that would actually appreciate this. I wish I had the the tools back then to know how to do this when I first started, and the tools the videos, the resources and whatever. And yeah, I think this is another video that is gonna help a lot of people too. And again, if you liked it, please share it. And I'll catch you guys next time.